Today I'm going to explain to you all the different Amazon FBA business models you can do and which one you can choose. I've been selling online for almost 15 years. This business I run on Amazon I've been running for 4 years, and within this time frame I've learned a lot of different strategies and a lot of different ways to sell online, and I've experimented with loads of these as well, and I'm going to tell you exactly which ones are good and which ones are bad, and my preference, and which one you should start as a beginner today. So let's get started. So when I think of Amazon, I think of it like a tree. What you want to do is you want to be at the top of the tree. You don't want to be at the bottom. So what I mean by this is, if you start with, for example, online arbitrage, like I got at the bottom here, retail arbitrage, it's low hanging fruit. Anyone can do this. Anyone can start with this. And what tends to happen is everyone starting with these business models, you'll find that the margins are quite low. It starts to become saturated. It's quite a difficult place to be, and in my opinion there's no longevity in this. Like, I want to be selling on Amazon for the next 5 to 10 years. Do I think I'll be able to do online arbitrage or retail arbitrage during this period over 5 to 10 years? Probably not. We want to be focusing on stuff that is higher up the tree. So private label, bundles, working with the brands directly. This is going to build a business that has longevity in it. So moving on. So it's quite confusing, the Amazon space, because there's a lot of different terminologies and a lot of different strategies that are kicked around. I like to separate Amazon in two different main strategies. So we've got the private label, where you create your own listings, and then we've got the reselling, which is reselling on existing listings on the platform. Every product on Amazon will come under these two categories. So when you're doing private label, you're creating your own brand, you're creating your own listing, you control that listing, you can kick sellers off that listing, you control the price, you control the reviews, you can pay for more reviews. So ultimately you have the control when you do private label. But people think when you want to start private label you need to spend tens of thousands of pounds to do it, and this is far but the truth. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about different strategies within private label. And the next thing is reselling. So reselling is selling on existing listings. This is by far the easiest and the fastest way to sell on Amazon. And you're just selling on listings that are already on the platform. The hard work is done for you. The listings is done for you. The reviews are already there. Ideally, people are already buying from these listings. And it's a good way to get into the business model. However, there's a lot of complications that have come about over the past 6 months when you're trying to resell on Amazon. And I'm going to cover these. So when we're looking at reselling, the main ones that people talk about is arbitrage, whether it's online or retail. We've got wholesale, when we're buying from wholesalers, or brand direct, where we're working with the brands to sell their specific products on the platform. And typically when we're doing reselling on Amazon, we're looking at a 30% return on investment, and that equates to around 15% margin. So if you buy something for a £5, you sell it for a tenner, you're going to make £1.50 profit net. It's quite easy to start. I mean, you could find something that you get ungated for, or you can get ungated on a product relatively quickly. You can make sales within a couple of weeks. When I was running my reselling mentorship program, we was getting student sales within 30 days. We had students make £1,000 in sales within 30 days. So it's a really easy business model to get your feet wet and to get started with. However, what we're finding is ungating is becoming a problem, where over the past 6 months Amazon have become really strict with ungating. So this doesn't affect existing sellers too much, but new sellers on the platform are having a hard time to get ungated on any other decent brands. So this is where reselling becomes really difficult. And then on top of that, we've got brands that are not allowing third parties to sell certain branded items on the platform. This is what we call IP complaints. Listings getting removed for whatever reason. Amazon is very strict on their criteria. For example, in Germany, if you've got any one-time use plastic, you can't sell that product on the platform. And then the other thing is authenticity complaints. If you're a new seller on the platform and a customer complains that your product is not real, or is fake, or is not the correct product, Amazon will start to question the product that you're selling, and they'll start to ask for invoices. If you're a new seller, this could potentially lead to account suspension. So despite this, you can still make lots of money reselling. Like, people are still starting reselling today, and making thousands of pounds in profit. So I'm going to explain for you guys who have never done reselling before a little bit about how to get started. So first things first, you're going to need two softwares which make it really easy. So we've got Seller Amp and Keeper. So Seller Amp is more of a snapshot. You can look at the profit calculations very quickly. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on the website, you can do it as a Chrome extension. This is a quick way to look at a product, put the cost in and see how much profit you're making. Keeper is more of a deeper analysis tool, and on top of that they have a database as well where you can actually find products. So you can put a certain criteria in there and it will give you a list of products. So we've got Seller Amp over here, and this is what Seller Amp looks like. It'll give you a whole breakdown on exactly what's happening on the listing. You put your cost price in, it tells you how much profit you're going to make after the fees, how many times it's selling per month, whether you're eligible to sell it or not, whether you need to get ungated, how many sellers are on the listing, if you're VAT registered, is the VAT included in this cost. So it tells you a whole heap of data. I'm not going to go into it too much. And this is Keeper. Keeper will show you a deeper analysis. So once you start to learn how to read these graphs, you can look at a graph and have a look whether a product's good to sell or not. And on top of this, there's a lot of data in there. It will tell you sales of individual sellers. That is so much information that Keeper will give you. And these come as Chrome extensions as well. So you can have the Amazon page open and you have Seller Amp on one side and Keeper, and you can do like a whole deep analysis on a particular product. Moving on, I think this is the best way to resell products online, is working with the brands directly. And there's actually two ways to do this. So you can actually resell some of the branded products on there. Sometimes this is an issue because some brands will just want to wholesale products out to as many sellers as possible, and sometimes this is great, but what tends to happen is sellers start to fight for the buy box and start to compete on price. This is where this can go a little bit downhill. Finding them brands that are really niche and really exclusive is probably the way to do this, and we're working with a couple of brands like this. And ultimately, when you do that, it opens doors for making listings for other products they have on there, whether they're wholesaling out. So we've got a brand that we're working with in Turkey. They've got a whole heap of different products that they're not selling in the UK marketplace. So I know how to make listings. I know how to get the reviews, get sales, don't run the ads. So we're working with some brands to actually create listings and to make sales on these listings as well. So this is a fantastic way to do it without actually buying all the stock up front and spending thousands and thousands of pounds in inventory. You're just basically becoming the middleman. But this comes with experience and this comes with time. Once you start to learn how to do these business models and you've got more skin in the game and you can actually prove to the brands that you know what you're doing, then this becomes a viable business model. But we want to move on to private label. So private label is categorized in two sections. So we've got the brands that you create. So typically this is what normally people think of when you talk about private label. So you're creating your own brand. So I'm working on a creating brand at the moment. You work with the manufacturer, your logo goes on the product, you control the listings. It's higher margins. However, I'd say is a much higher upfront cost. You have to buy the products upfront. You need to sell it, send it to the fulfillment centers. You need to get reviews. So you need to spend money on ads. So it is harder to do, but we've got a lot of private label mentorship students on here. It is the best way to do it, and ultimately it's everyone's e-commerce goal to have a private label brand. And there's actually another way to do this as well. So on Amazon, it's very specific to Amazon, and it's called unique bundles. So what we do with unique bundles is we combine a couple of products on one listing. We're trying to solve a specific customer's problem. An example would be if you were to sell protein with a shaker bottle, right? That would be an example. The manufacturer, there's no manufacturing required. You don't have to import anything usually, and it's faster to launch. You can launch a bundle within a couple of days, and the thing is, you still own the listing, even though it's a bundle of, maybe you're selling, I don't know, Apply Nutrition Protein with your own name shaker bottle. You still own the listing. You have control over the listing. You control the price. You control the ads, etc. But let's talk about private label on its own. So I think this is the highest potential, and the reason being is you can sell this on multiple platforms. So a lot of our students are doing this where they're creating a brand, they're putting it on TikTok, they're putting it on Amazon, they're creating their own website for this product, and they're using one of the main methods our students are using is affiliates to promote the product. And what happens with this is this spills over onto other platforms. So what we find is if you've got a strong brand that you're launching and it solves a problem and people really like it, you start to get organic sales on Amazon from this brand. And this is where the long-term potential comes in. And it's like a flywheel effect. If you do this properly and you launch on multiple platforms, it creates a flywheel. People are ordering on Amazon, people are ordering on TikTok, people are seeing videos on Instagram. Like, it's creating this whole flywheel, and it scales the business really fast. Moving on to uni bundles. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about uni bundles. So uni bundles is combining a product that solve one problem, and I've got two pictures on here. So one of them is a protein bar bundle. Someone who's into gym, someone who's wants to get back into the gym, this will be something ideal for them. It's got loads of different flavors of protein, loads of different brands. It's got some lifting straps in there. It's got some pre-workout. It's got some protein powders. It's a fantastic model. This is probably one of the best ideas, one of my favorite ideas actually. And another one over here is a kid's hair product thing. So it's got bubbles on there. This is a private label. So they basically private labeled all this stuff with a branded product. And similar to this, there's lots of branded products in here, but both of these listings are sold under their own brand, right? So if you choose the right product, the product that's organically ranked well, you will start to make really good sales with this. And for example, if you had 20 of these products making you £500 to £1,000 a month in profit, like it is a fantastic business model. But unfortunately, people create the wrong variations of these bundles, right? So we've got two examples over here. We've got the John West tin of tuna. He's not put any thought into this. He's not put a private label product in with this product, and it doesn't make a good unique bundle. Eventually, what will happen to this listing is Amazon will clock on, the listing will get deleted from the platform, or John West will actually take over this listing. So this is a bad example of a unique bundle. It's not even a unique bundle, to be fair. He's just put the brand as the wrong brand. You'll see a lot of examples of this. And this is another one, cup of soup with a grocery list card. Like, realistically, who actually wants a grocery list? Like, no one wants to buy this. If you were selling cup of soup and you sold it with, I don't know, like a nice bowl or something like that, then yeah, maybe that would be, or maybe like a takeaway bowl. That would be a good example of a good unique bundle. But yeah, there's no added value here. And I've got a little challenge for you guys watching. Out of these two products, which do you think is the correct bundle and which do you think is the wrong bundle? Which is a bad bundle, right? So I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. And yeah, it's this bundle over here. 3 products. That's not sufficient for it to be identified as a unique bundle, but he's put his own brand on there, Only Fly. And yeah, that concludes my little short video explaining all the different business models within Amazon. And yeah, my favorite is doing the private label, and both of them are viable, right? Creating your own brand and doing the unique bundles. And once you get a lot of experience in this, and once you understand how to create listings and how to market a product, then working with brands and helping brands get their products on the platform is a fantastic way to scale your business. I'm actually running a workshop that's going to explain a little bit more about how to do this. It's spanning over the next 4 weeks. If you're watching this video, it may have started already, but I'll put the link down below. You can join. Even if you're a bit late, you can catch up on the first video. And yeah, thanks for watching.